Welcome to the worst sports channel on YouTube, Hot Garbage Sports, with me, Coach Ryan D. Habs sweep the Jets. Jets blow it in 4. Gutless, heartless, doesn't make you feel good, embarrassing, yelling at the refs, conspiracy theories for days. Like, not really, but these are all the emotions going through Jets fans right now in this loss. Logan Stanley is great, but when you get outshot 44-16, you just feel like, ugh, gross. We all felt good about the Oilers. We don't feel so good anymore. Stick with me to the end of the video, Jets fans. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about the series. We're going to talk about the players who did or didn't show up. We're going to talk about Paul Maurice, Kevin Cheveldayoff, the future of this team as we see it right after this game.
Here's Lemieux, the center penalty coming up. Look at Lemieux. Oh my goodness, what a goal!
What more can one say about a series after being swept than there's always next year? This game stings a lot less than Game 3. Game 3 was the game you wanted to throw your remote through the TV. If you're like me, Jets fans, it's not that you weren't checked into this game. It's not that you weren't excited to see what could happen. It's just that after that just kicking in Game 3, you didn't really feel like you could probably do it in Game 4, nor did you care. At least I didn't. If you did, that is fantastic. I'm not telling you how to feel. I'm just saying I had already resigned to the fact that a sweep was coming because I could see it in the Jets players. They were playing with no heart. You could see it too. They were playing with no jam. They were playing with no passion. They weren't playing as a unit. They weren't playing as a team. This was not the Jets team that beat the Oilers, but this is a Jets team we've seen before. And we have seen this Jets team collapse in the playoffs a couple times now. Basically, since 2019 in our magical run, the Winnipeg Jets have been anything but magic in the playoffs. A middling, mediocre team that ends up getting in at position 3 or 4, right in the mid-pack, and either gets a first-round exit or, well, a second-round exit, but this one felt ugly, didn't it? So what ends up happening here, Winnipeg? Well, first off, Connor Hellebuyck and Logan Stanley have a fantastic game. As the series go, Adam Lowry looks great. Thank goodness we locked him up to a nice long-term deal. Matthew Perreault played hard, but his contract's expiring. We can't assume he's going to re-sign. Mark Scheifele gets, well, lambasted and beat up by 25 to 30% of the Winnipeg Jets fan base. That dude who burnt his jersey, you're a clown, my friend. I hope you are no longer a Jets fan ever again, not just a Mark Scheifele fan. This young man ends up the first overall draft pick for the Winnipeg Jets. He makes one mistake. He is a $6.5 million beautiful center. Go ahead, take a look at my video above. Link right there. We end up breaking down why Scheifele is so fantastic, and we should just let the fact that he made this hit go. Burning jerseys. Come on! All right, digressing from the hit. This series, you got outplayed by the Habs, Jets fans. We really did. And you know what? Before I talk about that, you didn't get outplayed by the Habs, Jets fans. I didn't get outplayed by the Habs, Jets fans. The best part about sports is we self-identify with our team and think of it as we and us. But we don't play for the Jets. We had no impact in the outcome of this series. I had Habs fans, Jets fans saying, "Oh, coach, don't say it too loud. The Jets in 5, be humble. Hide. Hide from what? I believe in my team. I think they can win. I want them to win. I said Jets in 5. They let me down. Does that make me a bad person or an idiot at hockey? Well, some people will comment down below, yes, but no, it doesn't. If you don't believe in your team, then what is the point? If you're going to sit there and have no fun and go, "Oh my God, please win the game," and then when they win, quietly sulk away being like, "Hey, we won." That's not sports. It's an artificial war. You battle. Victory. Mead and wine to the winner. Habs get it. We don't. See you next year. So have no regrets about loving and supporting your team and being with them regardless of whether they win or lose. It's the best part about it. But don't tie your self-identity and your personality, your good days, your bad days, and everything into a team. We'll be bitter tonight. We'll go to sleep. Talk to your partner. Tell them you need a little bit of love. Talk to your dog. Talk to your cat. Pet them. I don't know. Whatever makes you happy. Find a little bit of an outlet because in a day or two, we'll forget about it. It's 30 degrees in Winnipeg right now. See you in a golf course at the park. We'll do something fun, right? That's all you can do. And the best part about sports is there is always next year. I know it sucks. I know we don't want to play 82 meaningless games to limp back into the playoffs as a mid-pack seed to finally get to some meaningful hockey to see if we can bring home a cup, but that is what we're going to have to do. We've been struggling for 10 years. The Leafs have struggled for 55 on to 56, and the Habs haven't won anything yet. Buckle up, Winnipeg fans. Keep your jerseys. Keep your pride. Winnipeg for life. Now, the Jets. The players. That's embarrassing. You're adult men who have played this game for a long period of time, and if anybody thinks that this is on Paul Maurice for not motivating them or firing them up with a big rah-rah Netflix-inspired speech, it isn't. Players in the playoffs need to get themselves motivated. The captain and the alternate captains need to fire up their team. The culture of the team needs to play, and the Habs did that. Jets, if you think we weren't winning races to the pucks, you're right, because the Habs were beating us to it because they wanted it more. If you think we couldn't make a pass because we couldn't do anything tape to tape, you're right, because the Habs were disrupting us. If you think that the Jets did not play very good, you would be correct. Did the Jets beat themselves? Absolutely they did. Did the Habs beat the Jets? Also, absolutely they did. The Jets did not put up much of a fight. When you come at it and it feels like nothing is going your way, it's because you're not working hard enough. Sometimes, yes, it is a matter of bounces. But after a 4-game series, it is not a matter of bounces. It's a matter of the better team ended up winning. And I think because the Jets just didn't come in mentally prepared. What can Paul Maurice do and what line combinations can he put together when nobody on the team is willing to play other than Logan Stanley or the game before Adam Lowry? There's no combination of success at that point when adult men can't be fired up to play in round 2 of the playoffs. That's the way it goes. Paul Stastny doesn't show up for the first 2 games. Are you frustrated? I am. What was he hurt with? Who knows? We'll never know. That's the NHL. But then he comes back from this mystery injury and all of a sudden he ends up in the lineup. Ineffective. We got it. He was hurt. But seriously, it was 9 days off and you hurt yourself somehow mysteriously in practice and couldn't play 2 games. It just doesn't make you feel good because we needed you, Paul. We needed you. And I get it. If you're hurt, you're hurt. It's your health. But I just wish the NHL would tell us what was wrong so I could have some sympathy and feel better for it. Feel annoyed by it, you know? I understand if you do too, but he was legit hurt. This is a tough man. Mr. 1,000 games. Blake Wheeler. -19 this season. Fantastic series against the Oilers, but Blake, you've had 4 or 5 years as the captain. A lot of people love you. I have your jersey. I like what you stand for, but at some point, do we as Winnipeg Jets fans or does the Winnipeg Jets organization have to think about not only moving on in terms of a trade, but maybe if you can't trade him because it's a big cap hit and maybe you don't want to trade him because he has done a lot for this community. He is well liked by the Chipmans. He is well liked by people around him. Do you strip him of the C? Do you get uncomfortable, Mark and Kevin? Do you strip them? Joe Thornton got stripped. Patrick Marleau got stripped. Many captains have been stripped before after wins were unable to be produced in fashions such as this. Like I said, the players are the ones that have to get themselves motivated. The captain and the alternates have to create the culture around the team for winning and accountability. That wasn't very accountable this series. So you let me know down below in the comments what should happen with Blake Wheeler. Strip C, traded, or nothing? Do you think he played well? Do you think he deserved to stay? All are valid arguments, and as we go into the offseason, go ahead, like, subscribe, and stick with us, fans, because throughout the offseason, we're going to talk all about this in more depth. But I just want to hear your opinions right now. You'll have to stay tuned for mine on what we should do with Blake Wheeler. Kyle Connor, invisible. But you're a kid. It takes some time in the playoffs. But are you? This core has been together now for 4 years. The average age is 26 to 30. This is the prime window. It's no longer children or kids or young upstart. You're just not it. The Leafs are young and upstart, not the old guys on the back end, but they're core. The Jets are not. They are a team of veterans. So you had 4 cracks at it. You haven't been able to get there. Interesting telltale sign. Nick Ehlers plays all right. Not great, not good. All right. Couple posts, worked hard. It's Nick Ehlers. He's untouchable. Untouchable. In my estimation. Fantastic contract, great player, best player on the Jets this season. Don't even think about it. Is Kyle Connor touchable? You let me know down below. He's elite. He's elite, but is it the right combination of players? I mean, look at the players on the Habs. Find me a superstar other than the 2 young kids, KK and Caulfield. Tyler Toffoli, career renaissance man. Denal, how many points does he get? Very few. Defensively responsible. Gallagher, I mean, go down the lineup and you find role players and people who do their job. It's excellent to have scoring and it's excellent to have elite players, but if they don't work together in the right combination, are they worth it? I'm asking you. I'm not telling you. Mark Scheifele, untouchable in my mind. That one I am telling you. $6.5 million centerman. You can't touch him. You build around him. 80-point guy. Regardless of how you feel about his back checking, his attitude, or other certain things, because I see pouty Mark at times. I do. He is a fantastic player, and he is absolutely a contract in the top 5 of the NHL. Nathan MacKinnon, Leon Draisaitl, Mark Scheifele, Connor Hellebuck. These are some of the best contracts in the NHL. You can't touch him. He's great. The rest of the lineup, Adam Lowry, of course he's going to stay. Heart and soul guy. But then you're going to end up exposing Appleton, likely Kopp, or Stanley, or DeMello to the Kraken. I think we're going to end up losing Appleton, unfortunately. If we don't sign Andrew Kopp, we're not Kraken compliant. But stay tuned for more Kraken content. We'll get into that later. Back to the Jets. The defense, your top 4. Pionk, Morrissey, Heinola. Yeah, he didn't play, but he's in your top 4. And Stanley. That is your future of this team. DeMello and the rest of them, maybe they're here, maybe they're not, but the future is those 4. So you're going to build around them. Defensemen don't grow on trees. We have a lot of defensemen, including Sandberg, in the prospect system, so we'll end up seeing what we get. But that is your top 4. If you're not convinced on Logan Stanley after tonight, you'll never be convinced. You can't teach size. You can't teach what he brings. That's just the way it goes. Connor Hellebuck, obviously fantastic. You have a 3-year window, Jets fans. We have a 3-year window. After that 3-year window, the Scheifele and Hellebuck contract is over. And once it's over, you lose your fantastic discount, and they are going to be looking at big pay raises, and this core doesn't stay together anymore. So you have a 3-year window to win with Scheifele, with Connor, with Ehlers, with Morrissey, with Hellebuck. That's what you have. Maybe Luc Dubois signs long-term. We'll talk about him. Maybe Pionk signs long-term, but for now, those are your core that are locked in. Wheeler too, I guess. Dubois, Laine. How you feel about that trade now? People were thrilled to see Luc Dubois come in. Playoff beast under John Tortorella, the Leaf killer. Does it take a winning coach? And yeah, you may not like him. You can call him a bully. You can call him whatever you want. But John Tortorella is a winning coach with a Stanley Cup record who dispatched the Lightning with the Columbus Blue Jackets and dispatched the Toronto Maple Leafs and got the best out of Pierre-Luc Dubois in both of those series. Paul Maurice was unable to. Dubois ends up on the 4th line at the end of this game. Dubois was highly ineffective all year. He never found his rhythm. His goal scoring was non-existent. His defensive play was not nearly what people were expecting when they got rid of Patrik Laine. His face-off percentage was atrocious. He didn't have a good year. Maybe he'll grow into himself. We've seen what Dubois can do, so maybe eventually he will. But do you need a guy like John Tortorella to kick you in the ass PLD before you're going to perform? I don't know. You let me know down below. Patrik Laine ends up having a terrible year. He's on the 4th line with Torts. He ends up not scoring, but remember, he left Winnipeg after a 3-point night. And regardless of your feelings on Patrik Laine scores. If you do nothing else well in the NHL, goals are worth everything. And don't you think those goals would have been worth something in this series? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I personally would have rather had Laine, but it's hindsight. It's a hindsight argument. We're here with Dubois. We'll end up seeing if Pierre-Luc Dubois signs an extension this season. It'll be very interesting to see how you get there after such a terrible year. Chevy's really stingy with contracts. Who knows? We'll follow it in the offseason. Paul Maurice, is he safe? He beat the Oilers, but I think he's starting to lose the room. Do you agree? Line combinations weren't excellent. Does he have to go? And if he goes, who replaces him? However, this is a team used to doing, well, not much in the offseason. So we'll see. When you lose the playoffs like you did right now to the Habs, and you've had 4 years of losses, exits to St. Louis. I know they won the cup. Exits to Calgary. I know Mark Scheifele was hurt. Fantastic game against the Oilers, sweep against the Oilers, lose to Montreal. It just makes you wonder, do changes at the top and with the core have to happen? Does Paul Maurice have to go, or is he done enough to stay? Do you continue on with the same path, or do you try something different and panic? Kevin Cheveldayoff, one of the best drafters in the NHL. Would you get a better GM? I don't know. But the interesting thing is when you're picking players, do you have the right combination, and does he give the coach what he needs to win? He's picked amazing players, but they haven't won. Look at the Montreal Canadiens. Again, I'll just keep pointing you to them. There's not a ton of superstars on that team, but here we are. Here we are. They play together as a unit. Is that what you need from a GM as opposed to picking superstar after superstar? Our superstars so far have not found the right combination of grit, luck, love of each other, love of the game, talent, skill, line combination. It's not there. They haven't won yet. Or do you sit in the camp where you say, there's nothing to panic about? Maybe there isn't. Maybe you do nothing. This is a very talented team. That is an absolutely valid option. You leave the coach, you leave the players, one more run at it, because if you start trading these guys, you do realize we are in Winnipeg, and it's really unlikely you'll get better back for it. You usually have to pay more in a trade in order to get somebody, and free agents are hard to find, and $6.5 million centermen don't grow on trees. Defensemen don't grow on trees. So, with the prospects that you have in the system, a year under Stanley, hopefully a year under DeMello, hopefully a year under Hanola, Cole Perfetti may be joining the lineup next year. Maybe Vesalainen can actually get in. Yikes. Do you stand pat and give it one more shot in front of the best goalie in the league? The answer is probably likely, but stick with the channel throughout the year. We'll dissect it a little more. Jets fans, thank you for being here. Don't burn your jerseys. Be a fan first. Love you all. Big ups from St. Vital here. Sunny St. Vital. Wherever you live in Manitoba or Saskatchewan or around the world, we appreciate you here on Hot Garbage Sports. Stay tuned. We're going to follow the playoffs through to the Cup Continuer. And if you can't stomach it, I get it. There's only 2 months of beautiful summer out there. Go get after it. It's been Coach Ryan D.